Hello, everyone. This is Jessie with the Two Sticks and String podcast. This is a knitting podcast primarily. It also has crochet and cross stitch on occasion. And when we're not in pandemic times, there's also traveling, but can't go anywhere. So, first things first. One, yes, I do have new hair. Thank you for noticing. I am very happy with it. We went for a chocolate and strawberry kind of color to match with Valentine's Day, because today is February the 12th, which means Valentine's Day. It's only 2 days away, y'all. That's close. What are you doing for your significant other? My goal is I'm going to try and make fresh pasta and Alfredo sauce from scratch. I make the Alfredo sauce all the time. That's not hard. The pasta is a little scary, but I'm excited about it. Other things, you can find me on Instagram at ArmyWifeKnittingLife and ArmyWifeKnittingLifeDstash, because I said I was going to put projects and things up there last time, and I have not added projects, but there is still awesome things that you can get there. So go check it out. If you want to find me on Ravelry, I am ArmyWifeKnitLife, and we have a group on Ravelry. In case you don't know, it is the Two Sticks and String podcast. It has the main picture for the group is Petrillo the owl, which is my logo, and you see him at the beginning of all of my podcasts. He's super sweet. I have had a lot of people ask me lately where he came from. My friend Logan drew him for me a few years ago as a little gift for me, and I love owls, so Petrillo just simply had to be the graphic. And he's Petrillo because I also love Golden Girls, and Sophia Petrillo is very wise, and what's more wise than an owl? Therefore, Petrillo had to be his name. It's the rule. I don't make the rule. I just follow it. I do want to say thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. I had a huge influx after recording the new episode, and I am so thankful. I really hope you stick around and stay for a while. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you always know when I have a new video coming out. I did want to say thank you to some podcasts that shouted me out, which would be Stitches and Jacks. It would be Ruth Loves to Knit. Her episode's coming out soon. That's how I know, because we're friends. We have Angela has shouted me out. There have been so many people saying, come and look. And I really appreciate that, because I know there's a lot of knitting podcasts to choose from. And so if you are spending even 5 minutes of your time with me, I want to say thanks. So we are going to have a big, exciting giveaway if I can hit 300 subscribers. Right now we're at about 210, and I did do one when I hit 150. So I want to make sure that there's some growth and movement there. So tell your friends, and I will come up with an awesome prize as a giveaway for 300. Okay? Deal? Awesome. I'm excited, you guys. I have done a few things. I have a finished object for you to see. I have a finished object already in the mail, so I'm just going to have to insert a picture at the end. I have some half objects, and I've just got whips with a little bit of stash enhancement, because as we've spoken before, I'm on a yarn diet, and I have to follow the rules of purchasing, and these just happen to meet the rules perfectly. So let's get started, okay? All right, first off, finished objects and how they relate to my goals. Here's my goal sheet for the month, as we've discussed. I started and finished my friend Kat's shawl, which was crochet. It was an easy pocket shawl. It's super cute. I'm going to show you a picture of it on my phone to start, and then I'll insert the picture at the end. Now keep in mind it is a crochet shawl, so it's a little hard to photograph nicely. it was a lot of fringe. But it is made out of Karen 1 pound worsted weight yarn in the dark gray mix colorway. I used a 5mm crochet hook, which is an I for US sizes. It took me about 3 or 4 days to do it all. But crochet is not a comfort craft for me. I can do it and I enjoy it for certain things. Shawls is not one of them. I like crocheting for blankets. So, but to each his own. If that's your preference, that's not a problem. I used to only crochet, and I have grown. I used to love to crochet everything. I've just grown to appreciate knitting more. I think it has a little more flexibility in what you create. So that is the finished object that I do not have. It's already in the mail because on its way to my mother's house, because my mother is going to get to see my friend Kat this coming weekend on the 19th. So I figured I'll just send it to her and she can surprise her with a gift. Yay! Because I know she doesn't watch this. Kat does not know that this podcast exists, and I'd like to keep it that way. My second finished object is my Pure Joy. This is a pattern by Hoki Locatelli, and I knit this with Hawaii Bazaar Yarn Co. yarn. I have not blocked it yet. I literally finished it at about 11:40 p.m. last night. So, is this not beautiful? Here's the edge. See, I have a moment in the end. Here, you can see that little progress keeper dangling is where I was last time. I had just finished the second little wedge, so I did 4 total wedges. It's so beautiful, you guys, and it's long, which I love. This color here is, both of these are on her Nova sock base. This is the Lavender Sprig colorway. Her Nova is a 75-25 superwash merino. And this color here, the solid, is Obsidian. And my progress keeper, it is not a Simply Serving, but it's super cute. Little chick. I like it because it reminds me of BTS, because they're going to sneak into every single podcast, I promise you. Because they always, when they relate the boys to animals, Jimin is always the chick. So it reminds me of Jimin as I do it. But yeah, so there was a lot of progress on this. I had never really done short rows before, so it was a learning process, and I really enjoyed it. Also, this chick sparkles. I don't know if it's not picking it up very well, but I promise it has glitter, because who are we kidding? This is me that we're talking about. I love glitter and sparkly. In fact, I always tell my husband that a girl's favorite color is shiny. Am I wrong? I mean, really. But I don't know who this is from. I purchased it off of D-Stash from my friend Julie. So she didn't tell me where it came from, just that she was destashing it. I don't know if that means that she doesn't remember or if it's from someone that she no longer supports. So that's all I know, is that it's a cute chick charm. But so this is going to be getting blocked and ends woven in tonight, hopefully. That's it for finished objects. For half finished objects, I have this sock. This is a Desert Vista Dye Works Sock Club of the Month. You did not see this last podcast because I couldn't cast it on because it wasn't February yet. This is the Pink Sands colorway in her Zean base, which is her sparkle base. If you ever wonder why you see so many pictures of these socks in progress on my Instagram, it's because I participate in her monthly sock club, Cal, and you get prizes for however many pictures you post, up to 100, which gets you a free skein of yarn. So you had best believe that I'm going to be posting 100 pictures within the year. And it's just easier to get them done up front so I don't have to worry. Also, this sock blocker, this gorgeous sock blocker, I have no idea how to say the name of this shop. So I'm going to put it in this little section right here. They're based in Poland, but they're stunning. This is the size large. So I use it for my mother's socks, my husband's socks, and my dad's socks, should I ever make many. But so far, he doesn't have any. But they're absolutely stunning. I have them in a size medium for me as well because they're beautiful. They are wooden, but they're lightweight and they're stunning. That's all I can say. Let me put this guy back on. As always, I do all of my socks toe up with a fish lips kiss heel with size 1 to 1.5 needle, depends on what's empty. It doesn't really change anything for me between the sizes. For my mom, I use 30 stitches on each side, so 60 stitches total. So there's that one. My next sock is my Letters to Santa from Nomadic Yarns. It's her Spark sock base. Let's see if I can. It's raining here today, guys. I'm sorry. It's going to be dark. But that Pikachu charm from Simply Serving, it's a Pikachu macaron if we want to be specific, shows you where I was last time. So this sock is completely finished for my Aunt Tracy. And these are on Alex Workshop Design sock blockers, hearts, because it's almost Valentine's Day, so hearts are appropriate. Okay, my next one is buried. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. We're going to switch out sock blockers. Its pair for both of these are right there. I was just too lazy to go up and get a second sock blocker. I mean, at least I'm being honest, right? I had to wake up really early for my hair this morning because it's a military spouse that does it. And she lives about 30 minutes away. And it was raining. And my appointment at she has her salon in her home. So the appointment was at 8:30 in the morning. And I'm not a morning person. I think I went to bed at 1:30 last night. And I had to get up at 7 in order to make sure that I was ready and awake enough to drive. So I'm going to be lazy all day. As you can see, end is not woven in. But this is my Hagrid sock from Nomadic Yarns. Also for my Aunt Tracy. Also toe up, fish lips kiss heel. And she wears the same size shoe as me, and our feet are almost the exact same. The only difference is that her actual foot is maybe ½ an inch longer than mine. So we use the same amount of stitches, 27 on each side. Not bad. It's a total of 54 stitches around in case you want to not math. So this is also the Spark sock base, and this is the, I call it the galaxy icing. I know that there are some people that use different words to describe the stitch marker. It kind of looks like a poop emoji without a face. But I like to think of it as icing because she does make a lot of cupcake charms. So it's probably the same technique. But it's Simply Serving as well because I like Simply Serving. Okay, that's it for half finished objects. Now we only have 4 projects left. Okay, so if there's a half finished object for a sock, that means there has to be a second to the pair, right? So we have, this one is the farthest along of the 3. Its heel is complete. These are done on Knit Picks needles. I think they're 1.5. Not 100% on that. I keep them in my sock needle bin, so whatever's free when I open that tin, that's what I get. But so it's almost done. It just has to have a cuff and a leg, and it'll be complete. So it's probably going to be the first one completed and my next finished object. We have, this one is second most done. This is the second sock for the Pink Sands, and these are on carbons needles. I really like Knit Pro carbons. I also really like Knitter's Pride Zings, and I like ChiaoGoo red lace. It doesn't have to be an interchangeable. I just like ChiaoGoo. I have 2 full sets of interchangeable ChiaoGoo needles because I love them that much, and I use them that much. And this is the Majestic Knit Picks needles with the Hagrid second sock. None of these have have progress keepers on them because you didn't see them last time, but I will transfer them at the end of recording this so that you can see where they were last time in comparison to when I record next, which will be at the end of this month is the goal. Okay, final work in progress is my Royals hat, which I call her hijab is her crown. And it's for my friend Patricia. I call her Pat Pat. And as you can see, here is the progress keeper. It is an Artemis macaron from Simply Serving because I'm a Sailor Moon kid. Loved it when I was a kid, love it now. It's an awesome show. But you might be saying, Jessie, why is it at the bottom? We saw this last week. That's not where you were. But it was, because this is a folded brim. So it's 2 layers. And so last time you saw it, it was on the other half, and I'd purposefully stopped it on the row where I purled so that I knew where I was, so that next time I could just flip it up. And all you do pretty much is, if you're wondering, this is not pattern specific. You can do this with any brim. All you have to do is, I stuck it on a second needle, and then you fold it up inside itself, then knit 2 together, and that's how you get your folded brim. Just knit the brim twice the length you want it to be. And then I do a row of purling in the middle as a indicator, and just so it has a crisp edge. Some people don't like a crisp edge, and that's totally fine. You don't have to do that. That's just what I like to do. So that's what I do. I have only done a single row of color work on this so far. So I did the folded brim, I did a row after the join, and now I'm in the color work section. So you can really barely see it. It's the last stitch and after all of these stitch markers right now. And that's how I'm going to create the crown points. It looks like a lot of stitch markers. I know. I know how to do color work. I know how to count stitches. That's not an issue. The issue is that I work on projects as I watch Floss Tube, which is cross stitch podcasts in case you guys don't know, or a knitting podcast, or I'm watching Netflix when I do this a lot of times. And so it's easier for me when I'm working on projects that require specific counting if I separate each repeat with a stitch marker, so that way if I mess up, I can tell right away, because there's only 8 stitches in the middle here. So if I'm not in the right spot when I get to the end of the stitch marker, I can typically catch my mistake early enough that it's easy enough to rip back and redo, because I am lazy, and if I get too far ahead, I'll just say leave it. Again, honesty. That's what I'm about here today. That's it for whips and knitty things. I do have stash enhancement. To start, the husband and I got a lovely gift from my friend Ruth at Ruth Loves to Knit. And it is, I'm trying to find the other little part. It's smaller. My apologies. You're going to hear some crinkling. Here we go. It likes to hide. We got a lovely package from my friend Ruth. She lives in England. I told you about her last week. I absolutely adore her. I purple you, Ruth. Okay. And my husband has become obsessed with anything British. Loves it. I don't mind it. But he has been wanting to try this chocolate that he hears about on British vloggers' channels, and it's a Freddo. So, being that I have friends in the UK, they sent me a box of Freddos and other just traditional British goodies. So, she sent things for me too. Just little things. This is one. It's an enamel pin. It says tea, cats, and yarn are my jam. It's from Gamer Crafting. And I do like a good peppermint tea. I love cats. And I obviously love yarn. So it's perfect. She also sent me these adorable minis from Hedgerow Yarns. Are they not beautiful? I love them. All right. And then my last two, well, three, I guess, technically, enhancements. Sorry for crinkling. I try to keep these in their bags until I show them so that they stay nice and pristine because, you know, I have kittens, and if they're out and about, their little claws can get in things. So we have, this is from Hawari Bazaar Yarn Co. Of course, because who else would I buy from? I always support my friends first. Not because they're my friends, but because they do great things. And they're my friends. That's just a plus. But so, Hawari Bazaar Yarn Co. I got this cute stitch marker. It's a moon. And that's because, again, BTS, haha, they're sneaking in again. But you didn't expect that. Moon is one of the songs, the solo songs for the oldest member, Jin. That's not why she makes them, but that's our joke. So this is her Genie Pants Nova fingering weight. It's the Genie Pants colorway. It's a 75-25 superwash merino nylon. It's about 463 yards to 100 grams. Solid minty green. And I got a black faux fur pom-pom just because a girl needs a pom-pom. Does anyone really need to explain why they need a pom-pom? If they do, that's a very sad life. And then this is the last stash acquisition. This is the BTS Club colorway for February. January. This is You Never Walk Alone. Also in her Nova fingering weight base with a matching mini. And it's just, look at these speckles, you guys. Beautiful. Just beautiful. That's all I have, y'all. My remaining goals for the month is I need to finish Pat Pat's hat. I need to finish the 3 socks. I have to do the 3 cable repeats on my Find My Way sweater. You will notice I did not show it today because I didn't work on it in these past 2 weeks. I've been more focused on the Pure Joy as my big project, and I needed to get the crochet shawl done. And then I have to cast on my Socrates shrug. So I think it's doable. It's only the 12th. I still have 16 more days. There we go. 16 more days of the month. I already have 1 sock over halfway done. And once I get the color work done on the hat, there's only like 10 rows of color work, so it's going to be plain stockinette. So, and there's nothing that says I have to get a lot done on my Socrates shrug. I just need to cast it on. So I think this is totally doable. Next month is probably going to be a more cross-stitch heavy month because I have some things that I really want to get started so that they can be done for people for Christmas. Also, since I almost forgot to mention, people messaged me asking, who on earth is going to tell your grandmother that your favorite color is not purple? Do any of us know her? And the answer to that is yes. On occasion, my aunt will watch this. She doesn't anymore, but she has seen it. And yes, it's the aunt that is getting socks for Christmas. She watches on occasion. And also, my friend Alex. You've seen her on my channel if you've been here for a while. We do joint podcasts whenever we see each other. Secret. We saw each other in October of this year, and we recorded a podcast together. Both of us have it on our computers, edited and ready to go. Have either of us uploaded it? No. I don't know why. Neither of us have done it, and so at this point it kind of seems silly to upload it because it's months and months old. But if you guys comment below and you want to see it, I'm more than happy to put it up. I just haven't because it didn't feel... I like things in chronological order though, so that's why. But if you guys want to see it, let me know. I will gladly put it down. Not an issue. But yeah, my friend Alex that came to visit me in Germany, and we've done the podcast together. She lives across the street, lived across the street from my grandmother from the time I met her up until less than a year ago. So she's very familiar with her. And in fact, in one of Alex's episodes, she is a knitter and a podcaster too. If you have not seen her, she is the featured channel on, if you look at my homepage for my channel, she's my featured one. And she's called Houndstrings Podcast. I love her. She's darling. But in one of her episodes, she is in a different... It's in October of last year, I think. And, or maybe it's the October before. Time is a mystery to me. Yeah, it has to be not this past October, the October before, because I lived here this past October. The prior October, and she's in a different space for her podcast. She's actually in my grandparents' house in the guest room. So yes, there are people. She would never tell. I have no doubts about that. She would never tell her because she knows it would make her upset. But, so yes, there are people that watch my podcast that could tell my grandmother, my babcha, that purple's not my favorite color. So, that is kind of all I have for right now. As I said, it's going to be more of a cross-stitch heavy month. Next month, I will still be doing knitting things because this is knitting podcast primarily. I really want to get some things done and going. So that's going to be the frosted pumpkin Christmas wreath sow. That's happening. I would love to get it started and semi caught up since it's actually still going on right now and they're still releasing clues. I'm hopefully going to be working on 12 Days of Christmas from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. And I also found a cross stitch on Etsy. I don't remember the designer off the top of my head, but I will, as I work on it next month, I will put the info down here. It is a Ruth Bader Ginsburg inspired cross stitch, and it says when there are 9. I'll explain more about it, the meaning behind that, when I record and talk about it. But it's going to be hopefully a Christmas gift for my sister. So until next time at the end of this month, do what makes your heart, so pretty much until I see you again, do what makes your heart sing. For me, that's 2 sticks and string. See ya. Last time, we had Berlin as a visitor. This time, we have a Bella. Is this going to be a trend that while I edit, I have cats try and interrupt me? Huh? If it is, I don't mind, because I like kitty snuggles and kitty perching. Oh, hi. It's now someone else's turn to get snuggles during editing time. Who could it be, Linny, huh? What's this? Who's this? Yeah. This is what happens when I record. I have to get cat snuggles. I mean, as we said earlier, I don't make the rules. I just follow them. Who else's cat likes to sit like this and get belly rubs? Because I know that my Linny loves it. Do you see this? Just chilling out. Please tell me your cats do this too, and my cat isn't the only one. We hold her like a baby and give her bounces and belly rubs.